Welcome back on this channel. Today we're going to talk about the new version of Spotify ESP32, version 3. So what's new in this version? There have been some recent changes in the Spotify web API regarding the authentication process, and also some of the methods have changed. If we go to their website, we can see that they expect all clients to migrate to the new redirect URI validation by November 25. So what does that mean for us? They say we either have to use HTTPS, we have to use a loopback address, and localhost is not allowed anymore. Previously, the ESP was running a simple HTTP web server to authenticate, and now we have to change that. And as there is currently no simple way to build a HTTPS web server on an ESP, I thought of changing that completely. The new authentication process is not more complex than the old one. I think it's even simpler, and I'll show you how to do it in a second. So if we now want to connect our ESP to our Spotify web API, as before, we have to go to the Spotify for Developers dashboard. So we go there. And then we go to the dashboard and we'll create a new app. You can see I have some apps already here. I have Home Assistant and I have my ESP32 library, which are my main test things I use. But now for this video, I'm gonna create a new app. So we have to give the app a name. This can be anything, what you like, maybe ESP32. And we have to give it a description. Oh, that's not correct. ESP. Like this. And now we have to add our redirect URI. And this is the point where the authentication process changes from the previous one. You will have to go to the GitHub repository, and in the README you can see here under create an application, add the following redirect URI. You can copy this as it is and paste it here. And then click add. Now we want to use the web API, so we select that and we agree to the terms. Now, as this is open, we'll go to we have our client ID and client secret. Please don't show this, but I'm gonna delete the app, so that's no problem. We'll go to our Arduino ID or platform IO as you want. I already have set up a simple script. It has Wi-Fi credentials in here. Also don't show them usually, but it's my laptop hotspot, so not an issue. And we have a simple setup of the library where client ID and client secret are passed. And then we connect to Wi-Fi. There's not anything else in here yet. So we're gonna go back and copy our client ID. Put it here. And also copy the client secret. And put it here. And now, first of all, we have to connect to Wi-Fi. I also started a serial monitor. That's helpful, and you eventually have to use it if you want to be able to not have to re-authenticate every time. Then you need to copy your refresh token. First thing we are going to do, we're going to call Spotify.begin. This will initialize everything we need. And then the authentication is handled as follows. We're going to do while we are not authenticated, we'll simply say Spotify.handle client. And what this will do, it will permanently pull from a web server and see if we already have a code from which we then can generate our refresh token. And because we don't want to re-authenticate every time, we're going to print the refresh token to the serial monitor. So going to do simply serial.printf, and we'll say refresh token, and then we can call Spotify.get user tokens. This returns a token object, and then we can say refresh token, and because we print and this, no, for this it's okay, it's a const char, so we can print it easily like this. Okay, and that's already everything we need for the authentication process. So I will upload this. So now we have uploaded this, and we see we are connecting to Wi-Fi. And if everything works fine, this should connect. So that took a moment because I was sending the Wi-Fi over the wrong frequency. But now you can see we get a long HTTPS link we have to enter. And you can see we have a lot of scopes in here. You can also custom set those. By default, it takes all the scopes, so you have access to everything on the API, but you might want to set them to only take the thing you actually need. And you can see how that's done in the README of the GitHub repository. So we're going to copy this link and then simply paste it into a browser. And now you will be asked, depending on what scopes you set, what the ESP is able to do. And you might have to log in. I'm already logged in, so that's not an issue. And then we're going to click agree. And at this point, we don't need the browser anymore. We can go back. Now it's gonna take a second. It's already here. You can see we got our refresh token, and this is a refresh token. We're going to copy this because with that token, we won't ever have to re-authenticate the web API ever again. So we don't have to call the browser every time. So we're going to copy this here. I already set up a variable called refresh token. And we're additionally going to pass this to the Spotify class. Like this. Now, as we have this refresh token, we can delete all of this. We don't need that anymore because we are already authenticated completely. And now we can start doing something with the API. For example, we can get the current track name and artist names by doing this. And also this. And then we can simply print that. like this. And because this is a string, we need to call cstring on it to print it when using printf. It seems I typed, oh, yeah, the get. Now it should be correct. And then we also say artists.cstring. And we don't want to pull that every few milliseconds, so we're going to add a simple delay, 1 second for now. Obviously, you might want to do that to print conditionally only if you get a new track or something. But now, if we upload this, we can also open Spotify and start playing something. You can see we already are playing something. Now we can see we're connected to Wi-Fi. It takes a second. And we can see it currently playing Summer of 1312 by Tear. And we can see that's the correct thing. And also if we skip this, now wait, we can see now it changed. So that's it on how to simply initialize the library. Obviously there are a lot more endpoints you can use. You can do really cool things with the API, also with controlling the playback and whatever. But I hope this helped for now. And there's also a new debug mode with this version, which can be set by sp32. Set log level. And then you can pass any of, if it loads, any of the following if you want some debugging. But obviously, if everything works, you don't need that. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and goodbye.